the Talisman of Air will be an interesting challenge, but I'll need it if I want to get the eye for Constantine. It's well hidden inside the city's Hammer Temple, so I'll have to do some scouting around. Problem is, the place is fully active day and night. Not even I can stay undetected for very long. Well, they say that the best place to hide a letter is on the mantelpiece. With that in mind, I'll be going in dressed as a Hammerite novice. That should be perfect, since novices aren't allowed to speak while on the temple grounds. My contacts can get me a novice's pass to get me through the gate. Once inside, I'll be free to take my time, explore the place thoroughly, and find the talisman. As long as I don't do anything or get caught somewhere I shouldn't be. Because as the new arrival, I'll be the first person they'll suspect if anything goes wrong.
Excuse the bit of lag that was in that cutscene there. I have really no idea what it is. I suppose it's my PC showing its age, but what can you do? So yeah, as you can expect, this mission is somewhat different to the ones we've had so far. Now this time we are undercover, which coincidentally is also the name of the mission. We are actually disguised as a Hammerite novice, so that means we can move around freely without having to worry about being undetected. I wonder how that's going to turn out. Because once again, this is a blind walkthrough. I am not quite sure what's going to await us. So, what are our objectives? Posing as a Hammerite novice, present your credentials to the guard at the gate and enter the Hammerite temple. Sounds easy enough. Search the temple and discover where the Talisman of Air is kept. When you find it, take it. Figures. Oh, and while I'm looting the place, steal the Hammer's holy first hammer from their reliquary. Sure. 2,400 worth of loot. Okay, don't kill anyone, the usual, and then get out again. Sounds simple enough. We only have 2 mission critical items that we have to steal. And of course the loot goal. That's at least not quite as much as the last time. Would it be reasonable to invest into water arrows? Well, I do think so. You can never have enough of those. Healing potions, however... sure, why not? We do have plenty of money. That needs to be said. Now, gas mines I think are a new item. They work somewhat like the gas arrows, in that they knock unconscious everyone who steps on them, though I don't think we will need them. We are instead going to buy another boss arrow, and while we are at it, another gas arrow, and I think that's all we can afford. So let's get started. So here we are, on the streets of the city. Looks the same as always. Now I do find it kind of neat how the areas in this game are not only restricted to the mission critical areas, but always also give you, well not always, but usually also give you like the part of the city that it's set in to explore. I don't know, it gives the game a feeling of context. You know, makes it feel like it's set in an actual... how do I put it? Like it's set in an actual place, you see. How every mission and every mission area is part of a bigger whole. Now, if you ask me, the Thief games always kind of begged to be open world, having the fleshed out setting that they have. I don't know if back at the time this game was released open world was really a thing. In other words, I don't know if back then Ocarina of Time was already out, though I do think so. But I might be wrong. What I'm saying is, I would like a Thief game where you can freely explore the city and the mission critical areas are all, you know, part of an open world, as I already said. But what can I say? I don't think something like that exists yet. I think that the third Thief, Deadly Shadows, does this kind of in a way in that it has an open hub area. But even then, it's more or less just a means to get to the mission areas. Also, where am I going? I suppose that would be another exit later on, though I am going to explore it right now. But the mission objectives very clearly say that we are supposed to enter through the front door, so that's what we are going to do. Also, we have a scroll, let's take a look at it. I am actually going to read this. Okay. As approved by His Eminence the High Priest Markander, we deliver unto you this novice under the standard agreement of service. The novice is sent with full status and training as such and should serve with humility and vigor to the best of his skills. We will endure a standard 3-year contract of service, at the end of which he will be considered for indoctrination as an elevated acolyte. The novice has been instructed in the rules and strictures of the order, has sworn his warrants to be silent in his vigils, and knows to maintain the marked privacies, as indicated by the standard inverted red hammer sigil. Okay. Please remit periodic evaluations of his conduct as warranted at 6-month intervals. May the hammer fall on the unrighteous. Officially, Brother Sachelmann. Well, look at that, he might be German. But never mind, we are going to enter this place. I find it kind of interesting that the location of this mission is a Hammerite temple, because I do like to find out more of the general lore of this game, including, of course, what the Hammerites are all about. Hello.
Present thy credentials, novice.
My credentials, well, good sir, here they are. Look, credentials. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now here we are. Looks pretty neat, huh? Now, as you may find, something that we are very specifically not allowed to do is steal anything while anyone sees us. So, just to demonstrate that. Oh man, that hammer sure looks valuable. Right, man? Okay, I don't think he actually saw it. However, that worked out. Oh yes, he did. He just needed a moment to react to it. Okay, so that would demonstrate that. We can steal stuff while they are looking away, but obviously not in plain sight. Now what's this? In light of the recent break-in at Crackscleft, all temple patrols will be doubled until further notice. Oh, I can see why that would happen. Also, the game is lagging, so that means I might actually... Okay, it's better now. Never mind then. Okay. So how could I steal that thing while staying undetected? Like that? That nut. I guess there is probably some means to distract the guy. Though I'm not sure if it's possible without being seen. But I guess we are going to return here later.
The rules do not permit novices in the barracks, as thou should well know.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. Well, that's good to know. Are novices permitted in here? I don't know. There is only one way to find out.
But steam burns are a harsh punishment indeed.
Dylan saved the boy Shalik, but maybe beyond
Then more foolishness. Fear never shows the true path, only the downslope to corruption.
I think part of that conversation might not have played correctly. Just a hunch on my part. Now how about here? Well, there's this book. Hammerite Compendium of Percepts, Regiments and Rules of Conduct, Volume 12. The builder gave thou the raw stuff of thy life. Make thou a great work of it, or thou mockest his gifts. Okay. A scroll? I am a wall builder. Let my walls endure from season to season, year to year, and age to age. Let my walls stand while families toil, armies march, and empires fall. I am a wall builder, and my walls will stand always as a shield against evil. This I pray, that will the Master Builder grant. You know, truth is, I find it quite fascinating how in this game's lore, like industry and religion are so closely connected. I think that's a very unique kind of idea. That these two things are not separate, but rather, well, as I said, closely connected. And that craft in and of itself is part of the religious dogma, basically. So, okay, there is, if anything, some loot there.
The Baron means to raise the tariffs again, even on grains and meat.
The wretched man serves only the merchants and his own greed.
Let it go and more for his soul's health, but no longer.
The builder's truth it is, that men without belief do soften and fail, as rotten wood.
I have no idea where these two talking people were. I couldn't see them. But never mind that. There's another book. Hammerite Compendium of Percept Regiments and Rules of Conduct, Volume 36. There are a lot of these. Time once passed, the harlot did say to the priest, "Tarry a while and wait upon thy duties." And the priest did tarry. Okay. So what's that all about? Temple authorization and access. Novices, as per the official books, are not permitted keys and are not allowed to enter restricted areas for any reason. These areas are to be designated by the standard red inverted hammer. Temple guardsmen are not permitted keys, but may enter restricted areas in pursuit of their function. That means, in terms of gameplay, guards don't have keys on them, but other people will open the doors for them. So if we can sneak in behind them, we can go through. Temple priests will be issued keys to most areas and are allowed in restricted rooms when authorized by the High Priest. They are also, of course, allowed in their own quarters, but not in those of other priests. The High Priest is granted the Master Key, has no restrictions to access, and will keep in his possession the holy symbol of the temple. Actually, so far it seems like this mission is kind of cleverly set up. At least to say anything different to the other ones. It seems like it relies very heavily on disguises and such. Kind of reminds me of the Hitman games. It's kind of interesting. Hammerite Compendium of Percept Regiments and Rules, yada yada yada, Volume 94. Guard thy tongue from falsehood as thou guardest thy purse from a checkerblade. Guard thy hand from misdeed as thou guardest thy house from firelights. Really, it's no wonder that there are so many books of these things, as apparently all of them only have one sentence in them. Hammerite Compendium, yada yada yada. When the builder came amongst his children and asked, "Who is it that has spoiled this work?" Then didst his errant son answer, "I do not know." Then didst the builder cast down his son and smite him with his hammer. For is it not known that a mistake may be mastered, but a lie lasts forever on the tongue? Well, that's strict. Though I guess it mostly just amounts to thou shalt not lie. To use thy chisel is to blunt its edge against a stone. To not use thy chisel is to waste its edge. Fascinating. When the thief did cry to the master, "Release me, for I repent and shall do good all my days," then did the master strike the thief's hand from him with a blade. And the master said, "Go now and do good, for thy repentance has been paid." That's actually not too different to some religious dogma. Once again, they are kind of based upon the medieval Catholic Church. And we all know what kind of people these were. Now, this episode so far has been fairly text-heavy. Not that there is anything wrong with that, I mean, but,
Explain their misdeeds to their children,
Our strength and resolve. 'Tis not what it once was.
and see what our weakness have gained us. Crime and sin reach to the very heights of the city.
like, even their uniforms kind of look similar to that of the Spanish Inquisition. But never mind. So, there's a piece of loot there. We don't want these guys to see us taking it. What is it that we can do? Definitely not shoot a noisemaker arrow, for we don't have those. Let me try something.
Thou shalt regret having troubled me.
Okay, that was not a good idea. It was also not what I meant to do, quite surprisingly. Okay, if we stand here... Did they still see it? Because they sound like they did. Yes, they did. I'm doing fantastically so far. Okay. So I'm pretty sure there is some way to do this. Like without them seeing us. I guess we had to distract them somehow. And what I'm wondering, is anywhere in there something that we can pick up? To throw? To make a noise? To make them turn away? Well, thing is, I'm not seeing anything. So let's just further explore for now. And yes, as you see, these doors are marked. As it was, once again, kind of told by...
Despite the act against evil.
Huh?
When prodded with enough vigor.
Meanest thou the action on De Wall's thugs?
Verily. Some have told me it was his own brethren who in sin didst turn him in.
Thieves betray their own. Now, as always.
Okay. So what about these things? The forged child, this hammer was the first to be cast out of a mold. It was brought into the world by Father... Huh? By Father Tenor, now sainted. Fascinating. The first hammer symbol of our ascent from the trickster's shadow. And whose skull is that? The sacred skull of Saint Yora, a builder of vision and devout keeper of the faith. You're turned away from me now, so that means I can take this...
Someone has been plundered.
No, I can't. Once again, I'm not quite familiar with what I can expect from this mission. Of course, the approach we have to take seems to be very different from the one we took so far. And I think I have to get used to it first. So that's something to keep in mind. Now they are leaving this room, so that means we can go down there.
Hast thought of
And no, I wouldn't have to sneak, I'm just sort of doing it anyway because
Surely not for many years.
that's kind of what I'm used to. I wonder if one was to play this mission like all the other ones, like, would it be possible to do so? The briefing said no, but I think I want these wine bottles and I think no one will see me if I take them. Well, look at how no one saw me. That's the kitchen, huh? Well... If anything is to be said, traditionally monks tend to eat pretty well. Which one would argue kind of contradicts their usual philosophy of not indulging in wealthy... What? No, in... What's the word I'm looking for? In worldly habits. But that's not really the way it is like, so... Goddamn, what the hell am I even talking about? As you can tell, I'm kind of tired from work. Which, by the way, you can take as an indication that this is probably going to be a short episode, because... You know, there are these days when I know very well that I'm not really accomplishing much of anything. You're standing in my way, guys. I'm not accomplishing much of anything. So... I better not even waste your time. Well, what can I say? We found some loot. I think that can be considered progress. So you know what? let's have another short episode today. We are going to continue this mission once I'm somewhat less tired. That's really all that is needed. Yeah. So as you all know, I'm your German snob. This is Let's Play Thief. I'm going to be seeing you again tomorrow, hopefully. And until then, have a wonderful evening and goodbye. We really haven't had a long video in a while, have we?